Today we're going to be checking out Wilson and Guinevere, the two new masters that just dropped in Kingshot. We're going to be looking at both of them in detail, including their skills, their expedition buffs, their talents, meaning what you get as you level them up, if you should be investing in them, if you're a free-to-play, low spender, mid spender, or a whale, which one you should be focusing on first. These masters dropped just over 24 hours ago, so if you have not gone and picked them up, make sure you're doing your journeys and Lost Lands, purchasing the Lost Land bags, adventure supplies where you can go on the adventure in the VIP shop. Once you have seen a master, you can look at all of the stats in the masters list here in the journey. You can see I've unlocked Guinevere. She's level 1. For Wilson, I haven't gotten lucky yet, so I don't have him unlocked. So we'll be going over all of the information here on this screen, which shows all the maxed out information anyway, which is always good. Wilson is an awesome master for free-to-play players and low spenders. Wilson focuses on the Alliance shop, and he also focuses on Alliance Mobilization, Alliance Championship, Vikings, and Alliance Brawl. These are all things that as a free-to-play player or low spender, you are trying to participate in as much as possible to get as many points as possible and get as many rewards as possible. The nice thing about Wilson is that he gives extra percentage points and also gives 3 extra tiers of rewards as well, or chest rewards. If you were like me, Alliance Shop, I used to be able to max out pretty much everything in Alliance Shop that I wanted to, including getting some special other items for the daily resets. But lately, since they added pet stuff or more pet stuff in, and also the transfer passes, I haven't been able to do anything other than food for pets and transfer passes and some materials for pets. So Wilson will reduce the Alliance Shop costs by 15% maxed out, and will increase the personal activity chest reward by 100%. Now that's not a lot, but when you are getting this every single day, everything is going to add up, especially if you're free to play or a low spender. Every single little thing these masters offer will add up, and you don't want to skip out on any of that. Here's what I'm talking about with the Alliance Shop. Typically, I'm only able to buy the pet food and also the transfer pass, as you can see. The pet materials, I get some of them. I always run out of tokens because I save for KVK. I don't do AB very much. I also do some or a decent amount of Alliance Mobilization. So I do get tokens from there, but not enough where it's overflowing and allowing me to get everything that I want throughout the week. So it'll be very nice when these prices are reduced in the Alliance Shop by 15% because of Wilson. So we've talked a lot about Wilson and the Alliance Shop and the extra chest rewards, or the 100% extra activity chest reward that he offers. We also need to talk about the other things that Wilson offers. And here you can see this is just the ramp up to the actual maxed out 15%, 100%. The expedition is very nice, where it is an attack and defense for 10% on each one. Another thing is his first skill right here for Alliance Mobilization, where you're going to get 20% extra points, and you're going to get more rewards, where it's 3 extra tiers, and you can see where the tiers are. So if you reach the skill level 1 tier here, which is going to be basically as soon as you unlock it and you put it to level 1, you're going to get some True Gold and Charm Guides. And then if you go down to level 6, you're going to get Forge Hammers and XP parts. And then level 10, so maxed out, you're going to get more True Gold, which is always helpful for free to play and low spenders, and some Charm Designs. Now this may take just a minute for you to get to level 10. The power increase on the right hand side will basically tell you how expensive it's going to be. So it's not going to be too expensive, especially for free to play or low spenders. You're going to be getting there more quickly than you would someone like Cassia, or if you invested in Roman. Now for the next one is the Alliance Championship. And Alliance Championship is the weekly event that you verse others and you have lanes that are set. For this event, you are going to get 50% more badges, which is huge. There's a lot that you can buy in that shop, and normally what you're doing is you're maxing out like satin or emblems or anything like that. But now you're going to be able to max out and grab all of that each week rather than just picking and choosing which one. Just like the first skill, the power level is pretty cheap. It's only 180,000. Also, the extra items on this are really good as well. All very helpful for masters. So you can see in the Alliance Championship shop here, you get to choose a lot of things except for charms. You don't get any charms in here, but you do get a lot of masters and a lot of governor gear. So that's going to help free to play and low spenders tremendously. If we go back to Wilson, for higher spenders and whales, the thing that I would be looking at is grabbing the emblems as much as possible in the Alliance shop or the Alliance Championship shop. But once again, we're looking at Wilson. Here's the breakdown, the 50% and 3 extra items. The items are really good. So let's move on and we'll talk about his third skill, which is the Viking Vengeance, which you get 50% more points. For every 200,000 points you earn, you'll get 1 chest up to 10. So basically what you need to do is every Viking, your goal should be obtaining 2 million points. After 2 million points as a free-to-play low spender, after 2 million points for the chest rewards, it doesn't really matter. The chest rewards are keeping with the theme of Vikings and the rewards for Vikings, which is artisans, gilded threads, and satin. And it's all about governor gear, which is very good for our free-to-play and low spenders because those are generally hard to get, especially the artisans are much more difficult to get in general. For Wilson's very last skill, the 4th skill, it is all about Alliance Brawl. You get 50% more points in Alliance Brawl. You also get 3 new extra tiers. And this one is pretty interesting because you get master stuff. So you get a little bit of extra bonus with things like emblems and ways to level up, manuscripts, and gifts. So overall, if you are a free-to-play player or low spender, Wilson is your go-to master along with Pan. Those are the 2 that you should be hyper-focusing on. If you are a whale, I would not focus on Wilson or Pan until you have things like Cassia and Guinevere maxed or close to maxed. So that's it for Wilson. We're going to move on to Guinevere, who I am very excited for due to her affecting my favorite event in the game, which is Swordland Showdown and Swordland Summit League, which is brand new. Something that I want to focus on first is the stat increase that you get for just upgrading the relationship with Guinevere, or even in fact with any other master that you have, because you get their expedition buff. For Swordland specifically, you get 30% maxed out, you get 30% attack and 30% defense. So what I want to do is I want to go compare that to the amount that it would take for me to get 30% if I did that with just pure governor gear, for example. And so we're going to go see, and for governor gear, I only get 2.5% in attack and defense of a specific troop set, not squad, but just only a specific troop set. And so it would take 12 upgrades of governor gear to equal what Guinevere would be with a maxed out relationship. Now, if you wanted to do that for a squad, so the squad buff, then I would just do 12 times 3, which is 36 governor gear upgrades. So you can see where you need to be focusing on effective spending. And one way to at least increase it in Swordland Showdown for effective spending is to get Guinevere maxed out, or at least closer to maxed out, because every dollar that you spend is going to go further than investing in governor gear if you're looking at Swordland to Swordland. But on top of when you increase your relationship with Guinevere, you're also getting squad lethality and squad health up to 15% of each, which is another reason why you should be focusing on your masters rather than getting much higher governor gear if you're already in red governor gear. Now, her first skill is very, very, very good for Guinevere, which is the relic points. So these are the points that you score when you hold a building, or when you gather, or when you loot, when the points drop off or shoot out of a building when you take it after the opponent has held it for a little bit. We're going to take a look at what the relic points entail. So here is a battle result from our latest Swordland Showdown in the Summit League here. And you can see relic points from building occupation, relic points from building drops, so that's the loot, from gathering, and from KO points. So it's going to be very interesting to see who you want holding a building. You probably want someone that has the first skill maxed out and the last skill maxed out for Guinevere holding buildings. Now the last skill is going to be a little bit more of an investment. It won't quite be like Cassia, but it's going to be twice as much at least of the first skill to invest into it because it goes to level 20. It also has a higher power cap, so you can see that it's going to be a little bit more expensive. But let's take a look at Guinevere's second skill. So we're going to jump back in here and take a look at her. Her second skill is huge for free-to-play players, low spenders, and even some mid to high spenders, where you get the up to 1 million instant healing of troops, which is massive. Now, if you are in Swordland and you get burned, you know how painful it is to leave for the 12 minutes and then come back. This will counteract some of that. So for whales, it's going to be harder to just burn somebody because then they're going to use their second skill and teleport away, or teleport away first and then use their second skill. I think the second skill will change the game of Swordland. It's going to make it more enjoyable for free-to-play and low spenders since they're going to be able to recover a lot of their troops more quickly. When you use Guinevere's second skill, hopefully you can choose what troops to recover. And if you do, I would do infantry, at least a majority of infantry, because that is going to be the troops that you lose the most. Now, we briefly looked at the third skill, which is 30% lethality and 30% health, which is massive. So you can see it right there. Now, the fourth skill is the rally cap, and it makes the rally cap go up to 150. But what I really want to look at is this is the rally cap for Cassia, and you can see the power increase. And this is very expensive to increase for Cassia with the power increase. You can see the power difference here as well. So what we want to do now is we want to go back over and just check out Guinevere's power level for their abilities. So if we go to the third skill, it goes up to 1 million. If we go to the rally capacity, it goes up to 1.66 million. So what that tells me is that it's not going to be quite as expensive as Cassia. And Guinevere's fourth skill is a little bit closer to what Cassia's second skill cost would be. And then it will be half as expensive as Cassia's very last skill. So overall, if you are a whale or a high spender, you need to be focusing on Guinevere and Cassia, especially if you like Swordland Showdown, then Guinevere is going to be your go-to. If you are trying to compete in the Summit League, which a lot of us are right now, then you're going to be maxing out Guinevere as quickly as possible, even before a KVK. Now, should you do that? Well, that's up to you, but for the most part, you should probably be saving emblems and manuscripts. For the free-to-play players and low spenders, Wilson is going to be your guy to go to along with Pan. Wilson's going to get you a lot more things for the events that you are trying to be at all the time because it is free resources to use to spend on KVK. Thank you for deep diving with me through Wilson and Guinevere. Hopefully this helps you or your alliance know what you should be spending on and why you should be spending on it. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. It helps a ton. Also join the Discord. We have over 1,100 people in Discord that are willing to help or willing to learn from you. So make sure you come check it out. The link's in my bio and in the description of this video. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.